Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2015 Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined alongside with Brandon Allred from Logo Infusion. Awesome to have you with us here this morning.
Glad to be here. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Absolutely, and of course, Matt Turek, our producer here, producing all day today. Don't forget, folks, we got this big, exciting stepladder final later tonight at 7 o'clock. You're not going to miss it. The Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open is brought to you by Kegel, and all the coverage this weekend is brought to you by the great brand of Ebonite. If you're looking for a bowling ball purchase, make sure you head over to ebonite.com. And Logo Infusion, our title sponsor, Brandon, this weekend has been a great partnership. Tell everybody at home a little about the coupon code that they can go out and they can save 15% this weekend at Logo Infusion.
15% through Monday. I actually open it up until Monday.
Okay.
IB Open 15, all capital letters. Save you 15% off your entire purchase.
All right, awesome. And Matt Turek, we saw over the last 2 days a lot of great competition. 228 bowlers came, which totaled 308 entries with re-entries, and the top 32 are out on the lanes right now. Going to be a pretty exciting day.
It sure is, Mike. I'm really looking forward to watching this four-game block here to determine the top 12. When round-robin match play will begin, that's when the action's really going to heat up, I believe.
Absolutely.
It's going to be an exciting day, Mike.
It will be. Let's take us out to the lanes now as the very first ball competition is getting underway. Here at Tropicana Lanes, our great host here in St. Louis, Missouri, we're taking you down to lanes 31 and 32, where we've got our second pairing of four bowlers. The bowlers today are all lined up with four on a pair, and from left to right, you have the leaders going all the way down to 32nd position. We're using lanes 29 through 44 here in this bay of Tropicana. We're done with lanes 1 through 26 over on the other side. They are taken out of play at this point in time, and of course lanes 47 and 48 will be our final pair that we'll use during our step ladder. There's a lot of pins that need to be made up this morning by a lot of the folks near the bottom of the 32, Brandon. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look, and let's kind of size up this field. In first position, he bowled Friday night. He did not bowl at all yesterday, Sean Maldonado, a two-hander from down in Texas.
Absolutely lapped the field. That was incredible bowling. I mean, he's leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else. It was awesome to watch.
And he's right-handed, and then in second, we do have the lefty, the southpaw, George Gohagan III. He also bowled on Friday night, did not bowl yesterday, but was here scouting out the competition, followed by Kyle Troop, Craig Nidifer, Andrew Anderson, Kenny Ryan, Jason Sterner, and Shea Bittenbender, along with J.R. Raymond. They're all 250 over or more. And then as you go down, all the way down to, let's go down to 24th place, and Craig Lamond, he's at 207 over. So 12th position right now is at 247, and right now all the way down to Craig Lamont, he's the last bowler 200 over at 207. 40 pins difference between 12th and 24th, and then all the way down to Ari Wilson, who's in 32nd. He's at plus 183. Ari would need to make up roughly 64 pins over the course of 4 games. So Ari's looking at needing to get out of the gate strong and probably shoot about 1,000 for these 4 games.
1,000 was definitely my pick for a safe set for some of the lower seats to make a jump into the top 12.
We will expand our coverage as we do go on this afternoon. We do have a couple of different pairs for you. Currently, right now, we're watching lanes 31 and 32, and you can see the leaders off to the left. Maldonado, Gohagan, Troop, and Nidifer on lanes 29 and 30. Over on 31 and 32, watching right in front of you, Andrew Anderson, Kenny Ryan, Jason Sterner, and Shea Bittenbender. And then just to the right, we've got J.R. Raymond, Matt McNeil, defending champion, Ronnie Russell and Bill O'Neill. That's a loaded group right there, a couple of PBA superstars in Russell and O'Neill. And as you make your way down, Tim Barrett, Anthony Simonson, Matt Gasson, and Mitch Beasley paired up together. And 17th through 20th, we've got JT Action Jackson, Zeke Bate, Joe Hostetler, and Devin Bidwell. And then Jeff Franco's Ryan Pittman, A.J. Rice, and Craig Lamont. A couple of Ebonite guys on the next pair in 25th and 26th. They're actually tied for 25th. Jason Couch and Rob Gottschall paired up with Dan Higgins and Kyle Anderson. And our last grouping is Jared Erickson, A.J. Johnson, who just finished second at the USBC Masters, Aaron Lawrence, and Ari Wilson. get a look at GG3 over on lane 30. And that's a washout combination. Shea Bittenbender up over there on our feature pair on lane 32. It's interesting, Brandon. Let me ask you a question. You're a bowler yourself. You don't only work for Logo Infusion, but you're a bowler, and everybody at Logo Infusion has some sort of bowling background or participates in the game, which is exactly how we do it here. Do you think, in your opinion, with the bowlers that bowled on Friday and weren't in the building at all yesterday, spent time with their family, maybe bowled a league roll-off, some of the locals, do you feel that it may be tough for them to get out of the gate strong?
I think the transition is definitely going to be a little bit different from what they saw on Friday night. Especially we saw a big difference in lane play between the Friday night squads and then both squads yesterday. They seem to hook a little bit more in B and C squads. So the bowlers that made it through on Friday, I don't think are going to see or be ready to see that.
I think you nailed it right on the head, but at the same time, we do have less bowlers per pair, just like Friday night. So you could make a case that maybe they have an advantage because they haven't had to experience as much lane breakdown, and the other bowlers may want to move too quick.
Too far left, too fast, sure.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. So you can look at it either way. I see both sides of that. It's just going to be interesting to see how it does play.
See how it plays out.
I'll tell you, I'm looking around at the action, and it looks like the lanes have started out a little bit tighter to me. I saw A.J. Johnson just come in light for a 4-8-10, playing right off the gutter over on lanes 43 and 44, just out of camera range. And I am seeing some splits this morning, but I also do see some guys starting with doubles. We're just underway here in game number 1 at the 2015 Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open. It's the round of 32 this morning. Matt Turek, Brandon Allred from Logo Infusion here joins me in the booth, and I'm Mike Flanagan, bringing you coverage all day long here from Tropicana Lanes. Good morning to everybody. I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat here. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. We want to welcome in all of our viewers this morning. All of the pins do roll over from yesterday. We do not drop any pins. And Brandon, how does that make you feel as a bowler? Every pin counts in this tournament.
That's the way it should be, in my opinion. I think that especially in a tournament environment like this where the field is pretty stout, conditions are difficult, you should get credit for every pin you knock down this week. The fact they carry it over, I like that aspect of the event.
This is your first year coming to the event and being part of our sponsorship team, the title sponsor, Logo Infusion. Your overall experience thus far here?
So far, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've heard a ton about this event throughout the years and tuned into the live streams of every year so far. So I'm thrilled personally to be part of the event, be able to sponsor it, and also be able to hang out and watch a little bit of bowling.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Just hanging out all weekend, talking bowling, watching everybody bowl, meeting all the players, you know, making contacts, networking.
My favorite kind of deal, man.
Yep, that's a good deal over here.
Brandon, I got to tell you, too, I didn't get a chance to work with you in the booth yesterday. I know you spent some time with Doug Dukes from Kegel, who's been a great partner of ours. He's done a great job putting the lane condition down for us this weekend. Kegel's got a beautiful facility down there in Florida. If you're looking to improve your game, go down there and get a lesson. The Kegel training facility, you want to check them out for sure over at kegel.net. But yesterday I listened to you and Doug and I believe Jason Couch and also Matt Turek spent some time in the booth as well with you guys. And I got to tell you, I was really happy to listen to you. I feel like you've got a little bit of a knack for broadcasting, Brandon.
I wouldn't take it that far just yet, but it is definitely enjoyable, that's for sure.
The other thing about you got a little Mike Moniak in you, the way you insinuate some of your, the way that you talk a little bit. So I'm going to have to put you and Moniak side by side. Maybe we can do a Saturday Night Live skit or something like that.
Let's do it, I'm in.
You're taking a look now at none other than A.J. Rice, the two-handed lefty. And he was bowling with no hat on for a while, and he bowls much better with a hat on, and he's got it back on today. AJ's opened up with strike, spare. He's up in the third frame working on lane 40.
Wearing a pretty nice Logo Infusion shirt there, man. What do you say?
Yeah, he's looking pretty sharp. Those graphics are clean and bright and clear, and you can make his name out. Doesn't get any better than that when it comes to a jersey.
That's the truth.
He's bowling with Jeff Francos, Ryan Pittman, A.J. Rice here, and Craig Lamone.
It's good cover out there. That
is our foursome right here. 39 and 40, a featured pair. 31 and 2, a featured pair. We have a wireless camera as well. So if something does develop here, I'll get down in the trenches and I will grab the wireless camera. We'll take you around the horn, let you know what we see from some of the notables. We'll start with the 29th through 32nd grouping. And over on that pair, we do have the first 4 in a row for what looks like Jared Erickson. So he's out to a good start. Aaron Lawrence is fishing to find the pocket. A.J. Johnson as well. And Ari Wilson has got open double over on lanes 41 and 42. We do have an opening ham bone by letter A. We'll let you know who that is. It is either Rob Gottschall. Actually, it is Rob Gottschall, has the first 4. And then over on lanes 39 and 40, as you've been watching right here in front of us, you see the scoreboards right there. It tells the story. Jeff Francos with the front 3 looking for 4 in a row right here.
I was talking a little bit yesterday, Matt, about some of the folks from the West Coast coming out here, seeing Josh Tajiri and Jeff Franco, seeing them
there's quite a
make
few
the
of
trip
them.
out here.
That's awesome to see that they make such a long journey just to bowl such a
Absolutely.
great event
Franco's
here.
is West Coast?
Yes.
Excellent. Educating me up here in the booth this morning. JT Action Jackson was the last man in the building this morning. Barely made roll call. But he's feeling good this morning, originally from St. Louis. This is hometown.
It was a nasty mess
Yeah,
by
did you
AJ
see
Rice
that?
right there. Holy
Bounced
smokes.
twice and then took the 7 out late. That was pretty awesome to see.
I just want to throw a messenger like that once in my life. I'm not asking for a lot, just, just one time.
I'm the same way with Deadwoods. I pull 1 a month out or so.
Looks like we've got a lane malfunction on lane 39. Could we take us down to 31 and 32, and let's check in on our 5th through 8th position bowlers coming in today. Looking at Jason Sterner on lane 32. Sterner is a favorite to win the tournament. I had several people yesterday comment just how well he was throwing it. He bowled a 299 game. We covered it yesterday. All of our coverage will be archived on our YouTube channel. This week, we'll be archiving the finals tomorrow morning, and then we'll work backwards with the top 12 and then the round of 32 C, B, and A squads. They should all be posted by Wednesday. Make sure you check that out. And the best way to know about that is to head over to our YouTube channel and just hit subscribe, and it'll give you an email as soon as those become available. Guys, feeling good here this morning. A lot of moving parts. We had to help get set up for our TV finals last night. It was a late night, a lot of late hours. Matt, I want to thank you for your dedication over the years and all the long hours and all the stress of getting the cameras up in the morning and moving everything around constantly. It can be quite stressful. And I just want to take a minute and thank you for your hard work and dedication. Without your help, there's no way we could make these things possible.
Thanks, Mike. It's fun. I enjoyed it. It is definitely hard work and long hours, like you said, but it's enjoyable to put this on for all the fans at home and the families and just bowling fans in general out there in the world.
And just like everything, moving parts and things happen here, I do want to inform my teammates here as we've been working frantically this morning that we do have a possible wrench thrown in our production later tonight. Dennis Hacker called me this morning and had let me know that the state tournament had a pair of lanes that they weren't sure they were going to get up and running by 9 a.m. for the 9 a.m. squad. He's going to text me. He may not be available to operate a camera tonight, but this is what's so great about our team. Ricky Matsko actually raised his hand and jumped for joy on a trampoline and said, I want to operate that camera tonight, Mike, if Dennis can't make it. No problem whatsoever. And you know what? That's why we call him Beefy, because he rises to the occasion and he can get anything done. So I'll keep you guys posted when Hacker lets me know for sure whether or not he's going to be here tonight.
It's a pretty great team you've put together here, Mike.
We try.
Well, I think the best word for all of us is insane. Well,
that's a good word, Mike.
and beautiful.
That's a good
I think
word.
beautiful also somewhere.
Insane and beautiful.
Fits into
Yes.
that.
Get a look here at Matt McNeil, who had a big game game number 8 of C Squad last night.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah, well, it sure was.
Could have easily been 300. Yeah, I believe he had the first 4 or 5 and an absolute blower 10-pin, and then all the way out for 279.
Smooth as silk.
Lanes do look extremely tight here on the fresh. Just to let everybody know, after this round, we will have the round of 12 coming up at 12 noon. It's raining 12s here at Tropicana. And we will re-oil again for the round of 12. Which I would believe would give an advantage to the guys to bowl A until about game 8, and then you would then see the bowlers that bowl B and C most likely have a bit of an advantage, or at least be more used to the lane transition towards the end of that block.
Definitely agree with you there, Mike.
If I'm looking over this list right now, and if I had to put together a list of favorites, I think Maldonado gets there. I also think that Nidifer gets there.
Absolutely.
I also think that Sterner gets there. I also believe one of the locals between Bittenbender and Barrett is going to get there. And then from there, anybody's guess is as good as mine.
The field is very, very close together. I mean,
But
only 60 pins separating 12th to Ari Wilson, who rounded out the top 32.
Troop, Anderson, Raymond come to mind immediately, and then you can't count out the lefties and McNeil and Gohagen. So basically, I made no prediction whatsoever.
You got close.
And then you even got Simonson in there, too. You know, 18-year-old Anthony Simonson, who's just so mature beyond his years.
Kid throws it very well. He's got a bright future ahead of him. There's no doubt about that.
He's a special person. Don't forget, you can tweet us up in the booth at #InsideBowling. We got some tweets coming in right now, as a matter of fact. Jeff Kopp says, bowling is on all day. And it's where it's at Inside Bowling. #InsideBowling. We'll put your tweet up on the screen, folks. That's what Matt Turek does here for you. Haven't had a chance to update my social media this morning, but now's a great opportunity for everyone else to go out, and I will as well right now, and tell everybody come over and tune in to watch some of the greatest bowlers in the world. We've even had some people travel in from other continents before for our events. And certainly in the chat, we have lots of folks that come in from all over the world.
We had a few from a bowler from Puerto Rico last night, I believe, and a bowler from Costa Rica.
That's pretty cool.
And England.
Yeah.
Ben Houston Johnson. Good friend of mine. A real stand-up guy. He's a real nice guy, Ben. I'm going to go out on a limb, red pin. I'm going to pick Jason Couch for you. I like Jason.
That's Jason bowling here. Looks like he's got open, strike, spare, 3 in a row.
Yeah, I agree there, Nick. McNeil's got a good look. He had a good look all day in C-Squad yesterday, too. I think he likes the fresh more than the burn. So I think he's going to go out to a hot start here the first few games. Shea Bittenbender starting extremely right, drifts a little bit left. looking good. Just get a look at Kyle Troop there on the left-hand side of your screen.
I want to give a shout out to Jackie Carbonetto and Matt Gasson for helping us with our social media this weekend. We greatly appreciate their help. Be sure to go out and give us a follow on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. The nice thing is we have Inside Bowling as the URL for all of them. So facebook.com/InsideBowling, youtube.com/InsideBowling, and same with the other platforms.
I've seen a lot of messengers this morning.
No, that's because a lot of people have a lot of mail.
I see what you did there.
I'm glad somebody did.
Another look here at Jason Sterner. Oh, balk. All runners advance.
Almost a good look at Jason Sterner.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see. He had 299 last night, left a 10 pin, as you guys probably saw on our Instagram page.
Tried to get the slow roll on that 10, but didn't quite
fell off
make
the back. Yeah. Still a great shot for Jason, and he was happy with that game.
I'm going to go mobile. I'm going to go rogue. Brandon, I'm going to let you monitor the chat. If there's any good questions coming in or
I can do
anything that we can answer, you can just kind of monitor the chat there and type away. He'll be typing as Mike Flanagan, so it makes it even kind of cooler.
There's Jason. Knocking them all down.
Going through some of the chat comments here, I see a question if they saw JT Action Jackson bowling in street shoes or basketball shoes. Yes, JT does not use bowling shoes. Every once in a while it's a pair of Jordans. Right now it's a pair of blue ones today.
He's not accessorizing very well. I don't see his hat on.
The hat's been on the last couple days. Probably adds a couple pins a game.
It probably does, like a white belt.
11 pins, right? Is that the rule?
Yeah, something like that. It's like putting a K&N sticker on your car, you know. It adds like 15 horsepower just automatically.
We got it. Outstanding.
The white belt adds about 11 pins to your average.
Hey guys, down here behind the leaders pair, I want to give everybody an update on the leaders. Currently right now, Kyle Troop up in the 10th frame. He has a double working. It's going to be his second shot in the 10th. He can shoot 247 to open up this morning. Craig Nidifer, I just saw go Brooklyn for a 6-pin. And currently right now, Craig has 167 in the 7th with a strike up. So he's got a possible 237 if he picks it up and throws 3 strikes in the 10th frame. Sean Maldonado, your tournament leader, goes strike, spare, 5 in a row heading into the 10th frame. So Sean Maldonado is continuing right where he left off on Friday night, is not missing a beat. And the developing story down here on 29 and 30 is George Gohagen, as he has 120 in the 9th, only a possible 150 if he strikes out in the 10th frame. GG3 is going to have to find something here early this morning.
It sounds like it may be a difference in overall lane condition and tournament environment. As George bowled the very, very first squad, he may see something a little bit different out there on the left side.
On lanes 31 and 32, our feature pair, Kenny Ryan's up right now, and he just wrapped a 7-pin, and Kenny's in a spot right now where he's only going to be able to bowl 177 if he spare and strikes out. So 177 for Ryan. He's heading backwards early this morning. Jason Sterner leaving a 10-pin. He can still shoot 226 if he spares it and strikes out in the 10th frame. However, the other 2 bowlers on the pair, Andrew Anderson and Shea Bittenbender, much better starts for those 2 guys, as Anderson can still shoot 269. Spare in the first, spare in the seventh. Everything else is strikes heading into the 10th frame. 269, looking to make a big move here in game number 1. And Shea Bittenbender starts with a double, 3 spares, and 4 in a row. So he's striking as well. Still 256 left for him. I'm getting a look right now at Ronnie Russell over on 33 and 34. Ronnie Russell leaving the 3-6-10 right now in the 9th frame. He's going to be heading into the 10th frame with 2:02 left, and Ronnie just missed the spare. He just took 2 off the right of the spare, 161 the 9th. He's got a possible 191. J.R. Raymond's up in the 10th frame. He's already delivered 1 ball. He can still bowl 256 with 2 shots left, so J.R. Raymond bowling well this morning, making a move. And Matt McNeil this morning, open, strike, spare, and 6 in a row. So Matt McNeil looking for the ham turkey dinner on his first shot in the 10th frame. Bill O'Neill and Ronnie Russell on that pair. I updated you on Russell. Bill O'Neill has a strike in the 9th, can bowl 239. 239 for Bill O'Neill. Anthony Simonson just came up to me and asked if he could change a surface once the block is started. As long as the ball has not gone into play, we're allowing surface changes. So he's making a surface change, which means he's looking for a ball reaction that he currently does not have. I've moved down to lanes 35 and 36, where I'm seeing Tim Barrett up in the 10th frame. He's got a possible 182. Not a good start for Barrett if he strikes out. Matt Gasson can bowl 221. Simonson 225 and Beasley 237 max scores left. '37 and 38. Joe Hostetler, spare 8 in a row, working on 290 max score going into the 10th frame. And JT Jackson, spare, 6 in a row, looking for 7 in a row over on lane 38. So JT, despite being the last one in the building here, he's bowling very well this morning. And Devin Bidwell, double, 9 spare, ham bone. So a lot of striking on 37 and 38, something to keep an eye on as we move forward. Zeke Bate also on that pair as a possible 236 left. They're a little bit behind the other pairs. They're just starting their 9th frame. And that takes you through our top pairs, gentlemen. What do you think about that?
Very informative.
That's what I think.
Yeah, that was awesome, Mike. Getting a look at everybody's score, not just our featured pair, for all those folks at home who want to follow the bowlers here through this 4-game block who might not get the opportunity to see their favorite bowler. Although we are providing pretty good coverage here from pair to pair, from our low end to high end. You can see the lanes to the left and right of that pair.
Jared Erickson opened up down here in your 29 through 32 grouping. 243, great opening game for him. Aaron Lawrence bowled 191, and I told you guys earlier that A.J. Johnson was struggling. He bowled 149. 149 for A.J. Johnson.
Yikes.
Now, A.J. was trying to play a little bit further right out by the gutter, more so than anybody else on this pattern. So 149 for A.J. Ari Wilson got the first strike in the 10th frame, can bowl 190. So if you're in the chat and you have a favorite bowler that you'd like some information and some reporting on, please let me know, and I will keep you up to speed. We want to thank everybody for coming in and joining us for this game number 1 of this 4-game quick round of 32. Don't forget, we'll be back at noon later today with the round of 12, round-robin match play, 30 bonus pins awarded for each win, with a position round the last game. And then don't forget, want to join us later for the Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open Finals. 7 o'clock tonight. If Jason Couch does not make it out of this round, he will join me on the broadcast. Hall of Famer Jason Couch in the field competing on lanes 41 and 2 right now, and Couch can still bowl 238. He's up in 10th frame, first ball. Guys, I've got some scores to report. The leaders pair. See if I can get there in time. 247 for Kyle Troop. 259 for Craig Nidifer. I need to make sure I got these scores right. Hey, Craig, what did everybody bowl on your pair here? Could you let the folks at home know?
47 is Kyle, 59 was Maldonado, 37 was me, and 140 was George.
140 for George Gohagan. 140. Keep it going, Craig. Craig Nidifer on the move here. This is his tournament. He loves it. He said he wanted to win this one this year. Last 2 years, he's made it to the finals, and he's ready to do it. He's ready to get her done this year, boys.
Definitely in good position to do so.
Yeah, if he can bounce off of this low game, then be good to see him in the top 12. I'm sure he's still up there.
And Maldonado still striking with 259 the first game. Coming out firing, man.
Yeah.
Andrew Anderson, 269 to start the day on lanes 31 and 32. It's 235 for Bill O'Neill. J.R. Raymond, 256.
He had 300 yesterday.
Yes, he did. If you want to see that, you can check it out. Matt McNeil, 259 to start the day. Through the last 9 for 259, guys. Wow. That's a little bit of striking.
Yeah, it is. What is the skip procedure this morning? Is it similar to yesterday,
You
Mike?
just skip one pair. One pair to the right.
To the right, okay.
Yep, skip one. And it's going to go quick, 4 games.
Yeah, it usually does.
Pins do carry over if you're just joining us. Brandon Allred from Logo Infusion up in the booth, along with Matt Turek. I'm Mike Flanagan, roaming around the bowling center, trying to get you updates as quick as I can.
G in the chat, this is game number 1 still. Some of them are finishing up. You're watching the high-end pair here, 39 and 40, where they are finishing up game 1. Game 2 is about to start as the bowlers are starting to move pairs here as they're completing that first game.
Another question in the chat from Nick B. asking if George Gohagan is wearing a Logo Infusion Lakers jersey. That would be correct. That is one of our jerseys out there. Several here in the field.
Looks good.
I was telling you guys about lanes 37 and 38 being a very high-scoring pair out of the gate here. They're also the last pair that's going to get done. Zeke Bate is up right now, and he just 4-pinned. So he's going to be in the 2 teens. He's got a possible 216 left. Devin Bidwell has left a 10-pin. So he can still bowl 247.
Joining us here in the booth, Doug Dukes from Kegel. He's the director of lane maintenance here at the Inside Bowling, the Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open. How you doing, Doug?
Doing well, doing well. Glad to be here.
Good.
Thinking you've made some friends this morning, Doug. There's a couple of high scores out there.
It always goes both ways, I promise. The scores look pretty good this morning, actually. Some guys really came in fired up.
Yep, they sure did. You would tend to see that, I guess, after bowling 8 games on, some of them more than that, some of them 16, some of them maybe even all 3 blocks. But, you know, now like they have a look at how to attack this pattern or coming in firing.
Hey, guys, JT Jackson, 234 this morning. Joe Hostetler picking up where he did yesterday. He was red hot at the end of his block, 255, but that was an open in a 10th for 255. Lanes 39 and 40. AJ Rice is trying to bail out a game. He's doubled in a 10th. He can shoot 201, and sometimes that's what you need just to get through it. Hop off 800 or so the next 3, and he can make a move to get in the top 12. He's capable of striking that much. Doug Dukes, you are joining us in the booth. And, Doug, I want to thank you for your dedication to this event this weekend and being part of our team here and putting down the conditions. And And I know each day that you walk the lanes and you look at how the pattern played. I'd like for you to tell the folks at home, starting with Friday night and then the 2 squads yesterday, what did you see as far as how the folks attack these lanes squad to squad?
Well, Friday night was obviously the first squad, and nobody had an idea what they were going to bowl on. So it was interesting to see not as much surface, a little bit farther outside. As they watched, and I'm sure they watched on the live streams as well, coming into Squad B, saw a lot more surface, and they really blew the heads open just a little bit more. It was interesting to walk the back of the lanes before we re-oiled, and to actually see where they played and to watch them migrate in. And watching them now, it's looks like they're attacking them 2 different ways. I see some playing a little bit farther in than they have the last couple days, and some guys are still playing out and scoring.
Doug, we saw the scoring pace. I believe it was about a 214 average or so, roughly, to cash in this event. To make it into the top 32. It was 180 over. Scoring pace compared to other tournaments that you've ran with this an elite field. Would you consider this high, moderate, or low?
I consider it pretty good. You know, I go moderate to even on the low end with the number of touring players that we have here and the talent from the amateurs that we have here. I was pretty impressed to see 214 to cash, and you know, the cut line was right around where we predicted for the top 32. So I think all in all, we did a pretty good job putting them where we want them and succeeded with that.
I also think that a squad equality definitely happened, and that's such peace of mind for us as tournament operators. And we have you and your folks down at Kegel to thank for that. 2nd year being involved with the event, and we certainly hope you're back for years to come.
I'll tell you, it's a pleasure to be here. This is personally my first time at the event. You guys do a great job, and we love being a part of it and helping be ambassadors to bowling.
Brandon, you've been looking around at the scores, and you've been watching some bowlers. Anybody stand out to you this morning from seeing the scores so far?
You know, watching Joe Hostetler shoot 255 with a hole in the 10th, his look is pretty good right now. I'm thinking he can make a pretty good move here. We're talking about shooting 1,000 for some of the lower-seeded bowlers to try to make it into the top 12 because everybody's still grouped together quite tightly. He's got a good chance to make something good happen here.
Lanes 31 and 32, you're looking at Dan Higgins over on lane 30. As you've seen, everybody's flipped and gone around now. You're now seeing the last grouping, 29 to 32 on our feature pair on 31 and 32. A.J. Johnson, we told you he bowled 140 the first game. Be interesting to see how he attacks this pair.
I'm thinking we'll see a change in game plan. Question in the chat on what Dan Higgins shot game 1. I believe he had 230 something. Is that right?
I will double check that. Matt, could you bring us over to the pair I just brought up?
Sure can.
So look at J.R. Raymond over here on 37 and 8. Remember, this is a very high-scoring pair. Very first game. J.R., Matt McNeil, Ronnie Russell, and Bill O'Neill on this pair. That's a spare strike for J.R. Take you back down to Tim Barrett. Matt McNeil threw the last 8 strikes in a row. The last game, or actually the last 9. For 250. Moving to his new pair, he's got a strike, looking for first 2. Right through the heart of it. Hey guys, I got a standings update after game number 1. It should be updated down below on your tabs if you're watching on InsideBowling.tv. Sean Maldonado continues to pace the field at plus 447. 120 pins behind him is now Andrew Anderson with a big 269 opening first game. 15 pins behind him in third place is Kyle Troop at 312. Matt McNeil has made a big move, moved all the way up to fourth at plus 308. In fifth, J.R. Raymond at plus 306. Sixth, Craig Nidifer at plus 296. Bill O'Neill sits seventh at plus 282. Shea Bittenbender sits eighth at plus 273. Joe Hostetler, your guy you were just talking about, Brandon, he made a nice move. He sits at plus 268, now into the top 12. Jason Sterner is 10th at plus 265. JT, my man, Action Jackson, plus 263, tied with Anthony Simonson for the 11th and 12th positions. On the outside looking in, just 3 pins behind Devin Bidwell, 7 pins behind Matt Gasson. I know if Billy's watching, he's cheering for Matt. All the luck to Matt today, and Ronnie Russell has now fallen outside the top 12. He finds himself in 15th position at plus 240. And George Gohagen, the biggest dropper, moves all the way down from second place to 16th.
Goodness. With
an opening 140 game. Is now at plus 235. Has a lot of work to do if he's going to get up there.
Yeah, and a quick little 4-game block here, 140 game kind of stings a little bit more.
Early underway, game number 2. Mike Flanagan with you, Doug Dukes from Kegel, and Brandon Allred from Logo Infusion, some great partners of this event. Matt Turek also joins us up in the booth. Matt's going to continue to click the cameras for us today as the action continues to get more and more fast and furious. We have a new software program that we're using also, so Matt, good luck today, buddy.
I like it so far, man. I've been trying to get a little faster today and just see what's going on. It's kind of cool. It's handy being able to preview.
We've got our ticker back. Let us know in the chat, do you like the ticker at the top, giving the updated standings? Do you like that? It's the first time it's been back for a couple of years. We used to have it, and when it went away, nobody missed it. Nobody said, hey, where's the ticker? So we want to have your feedback. Let us know if you like it.
I think it's pretty cool.
Now, Doug and Brandon, you guys are both bowlers or have been bowlers. Obviously, with your full-time jobs working in the industry, you have a reduced amount of bowling that you do. But, Doug, do you watch an event like this and say, man, this is one I would have liked to have bowled when I was bowling competitively?
I do, actually. I love the way the events run. I love the staff and being on these demanding lane conditions. You know, the best is going to rise to the top. And I don't think there's any give-me's this entire weekend.
And Brandon, how about you? I know you were kind of licking your chops back there at the table watching all this bowling this weekend.
Oh, yeah, I definitely have the itch to try to go bowl now. There's no doubt in my mind that I'll be bringing my stuff with me next year. No doubt.
Well, I think that answers that question.
Definitely want to lace them up and smack my head around for 8, maybe 16 games next year. We'll see what happens.
Go out and tell your friends you're watching live bowling coverage here on InsideBowling.tv. Give us a share on your social media outlets. We want to grow this thing all afternoon as we count down to the finals. $10,000 tonight somebody's going to win. Last year it was Matt McNeil, and he's got a chance to do it again. Our champion from 2 years ago, Bill O'Neill, is also in the hunt. Both bowlers in the top 12 right now. And Craig Nidifer's made the show the last 2 years. He's also in the top 12 currently. We change the pattern every year. We tweak it a little bit, but it still gives the same shot shape. A lot of the bowlers said that the outside part of the lane, there was not as much friction out by the 1, 2, and 3 boards as in years past. And Doug, I would believe that's because of those 2-2s we put on the lane.
That's right. We put an extra 2. Last year they were at a 40 UL stream, and this year they're at 50. So we went from 3 at 40 UL to 5 at 50. So there's definitely a lot. They're a lot slicker on the outside than they have been.
Doug, tell the folks at home, if you're going to read a lane graph, what do you want to look at on that lane graph? Do you want to look at the pretty picture over to the right, or should I be looking somewhere else?
As far as a Kazi lane graph, or from a lane reader?
From a Kazi lane graph.
You know, I look more at the composite graph than anything. Basically, what that graph's going to be is, if you were to take a squeegee, for say, and start at the back of the pattern and pull it all toward the foul line, that's how it would stack up. And that's really going to tell me, you know, where my miss can be and what the pattern looks like stacked on top of each other. But something else that I always look at is number of 2-2s. That's always going to tell me how hard the pattern is, and length, which is normally going to tell me where to play. Now this pattern's a little different, but the number of 2-2s being 8 tells me that it's definitely going to be hard.
Now, when you say 2-2, that means that the oil's being applied from the second board to the second board, left to right, and then you look at the machine speed, and I believe it starts at 10 and works its way up?
That is correct. The way sanctioned technology works, we can do board by board calculations, and we can apply board by board, just like a dot matrix printer almost for the lane. The other nice thing about sanctioned technology is we can prove the pattern, meaning before every squad, I actually take a graduated cylinder and take the oil head out of the machine and actually run the pattern in the cylinder and verify that my total volume matches my program sheet.
Matt Gasson with a Bird Dog Messenger there. You're listening to Doug Dukes. He's an expert here from Kegel, joining us in the booth right now, telling you very important information and educating you about how lane patterns are put together and what he has to do to make sure that the pattern's being put down the proper way. You talk about that graduated cylinder. Do you check that every time before you run lanes?
Yes.
There's a lot of centers out there that do not do that.
It is, you know, a lot of people rely on our technology. You know, I like to say that we're very good at what we do, but it's always nice to check it even in your local center. If you do it once a week, the oil pumps that we use in the machine, they're actually very similar to the same pumps that are used in IV machines in hospitals. They're very expensive and they're very accurate. I have been told they lose about 1/10 of 1% every 1 million cycles.
Wow. Holy smokes.
So, you know, I have to say every time I've done a check, it's always been perfect, but you never want to take that chance. When it comes to $10,000 on the line, we always want to make sure that what's in that machine is what's going out on the lane.
And that's why if I could give you a great big kiss on the forehead every day, even though you won't let me, that's definitely why we love having you here, because it makes me as a tournament director feel great. Now, I don't know if you were on 31 and 32 right there or not, Matt.
I was.
But AJ Johnson.
That was a great shot.
Bowls
for him.
140 the first game.
Oh.
And look at him come back with 5 in a row. 5 in a row for AJ Johnson. It's not crazy to think that if he bowled 300 here, he'd have 449 after 2. Hey, that's 225, 224. That's the way you got to look at that. An update on Gohagen. Bowled 140 the first game. Certainly struggling again early here. 73 in the fourth with the spare working in the fifth. He has got to get something working.
There's an X for him there. Maybe we can build off of that.
Yeah, he crossed over. He was way right at target. His timing looked a little bit off. I'll tell you another kid to look at here is on lane 32. This is probably the straightest player we have in the field, Aaron Lawrence.
He's good.
He's really good.
He is, but with this pattern being more favorable to the power players, it's interesting to see that Aaron can still get to the pocket and make it into this 32. Now, Aaron's not setting the world on fire, and he's really on the outside looking in for getting into the top 12, but a very respectable performance for Aaron Lawrence. I'm down here behind lanes 29 and 30 where we have Dan Higgins, Rob Gottschall, Jason Couch. And the fourth bowler's missing. But Couch currently right now, strike, spare, double, spare. And the rest of the pair is pretty much pacing 2-0. Rob Gottschall 89 in the fourth with a spare up in the fifth.
Quick question in the chat from the one and only Brooklyn, Mr. Dave Piershad. Hello there, Dave. $570 goes out to the 32nd finisher in this this year's event.
Yeah, hey Dave, shouldn't you be instructing some yoga?
I think somebody else said that earlier.
We had him on one of our live streams, and I basically announced that he was a yoga instructor.
That's outstanding.
And it has it has stuck.
Caught fire. That's awesome.
You know the movie The Hangover? I feel like you could get the Perushad brothers to just make their own movie. Be very similar to The Hangover. Not to insinuate that they drink all the time or anything. They're just crazy. But in a good way. Well, here's a news flash. Scoring has gone down game number 2 for the most part.
Yeah, across the board, there's not too many strings through the first half of game 2 here.
What'd you do, Doug? Put out a different pattern on every pair?
Yeah.
Surprise.
I got the target. It's okay. I need my bullseye shirt. You guys need to print a bullseye shirt for me.
I can make that happen. Let's do it.
You look here at Matt Gasson.
We leaked that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure Billy's in the chat. Hey, that is nice that he got the 10 out, though. Matt's bowled a hell of a game. You know, that one shot right there, if you're just tuning in, that is not how Matt's been throwing the ball. That was just an errant shot. I've been really impressed with Matt's demeanor. You know, he's just graduated from college. He's done bowling at Robert Morris, about to start his career, whatever that may be. I know that he's still looking and searching to see what he can do. He wants to work in the bowling industry, if at all possible. Wants to follow in the footsteps of the great Doug Dukes and an Allred. Also joining us here on the broadcast. And I'm Mike Flanagan here, game number 2, halfway through at the Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open. Presented by Kegel and all the online coverage this weekend. We want to thank our friends over at Ebonite for providing the online coverage for you.
Get a look here at A.J. Johnson.
Remember, A.J. Johnson opened up with 140. Certainly coming back nicely this game. He's perfect so far. Hey, don't forget you can tweet us up here in the booth, hashtag InsideBowling. We'll get your tweets displayed on the screen.
Andrew Orff checking in on Twitter. Thanks for watching, Andrew.
Grandson of the great Ray Orff from Ray Orff's Bowling and Trophy Shop here in St. Louis. Rich and Steve, the two sons of Ray. Steve joined us on the broadcast Saturday morning, brought a lot of knowledge to the booth. Just such a great guy. My doubles partner next weekend at the Greater Ozarks Tournament. Chaz Brewer, if you're listening, great event down there, buddy. How many viewers are we up to, guys?
We were looking at 202.
All right, we rolled 200. Almost the amount of bowlers we got for this event. 228 unique bowlers in this event, 308 total entries. That's right, you do the math, folks. 80 re-entries.
Wow. That's awesome.
I believe A.J. Rice was the only guy to bowl all 3 squads.
It's a lot of bowling.
Yes, it is.
Doug, Brandon, you guys have done great on the broadcast up here in the booth thus far this weekend, getting your feet wet. If you guys have any broadcasting experience at all, we'll start with you, Doug.
This would definitely be a first for me.
Well,
Outside of seminars, this is the first on a broadcast.
Oh, there you go. Are you enjoying it?
It is fun. It's very fun,
Okay.
actually.
And Brandon, how about you?
I have one other broadcast under my belt. That was courtesy of Craig Elliott a couple weeks back at the Collegiate Club Championships in Chicago. So this is number 2.
Country boy Ronnie Russell going in high for a strike. Not wearing his country outfit here today, though. Looks more like a racer. Interesting. A lot of people talk about dress code. What's your dress code in your tournament, Mike? And really, I want people to be comfortable. I want you to wear something that you can excel at the highest level, as long as you're not wearing a wife beater or any profanity. We just frown on those two things. And interesting to see what the PBA guys do showing up. You know, O'Neill, and he decides to wear light gray today with a purple Hammer shirt, Dice Up High Five jersey that he uses from the PBA Tour. See a lot of people here in logo Infusion shirts supporting our sponsor in this event. And, you know, then you look around, and Ronnie Russell decided to wear jeans today. We have no problem with that whatsoever. He is known as the country boy, and I guarantee you if we went to a country bar, 99.9% of the people in there that are male are all going to be wearing jeans.
That's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I think so.
Makes sense, right? I mean, it's perfect. We can look at J.R. Raymond. Matt,
We're
37 and 8. See how JR's attacking this. He's trying to play right up the tube. He's trying to put it right in the 15 to 10 range. Kind of trying to fit it in there. He truly believes playing a little bit further left than where this pattern usually plays each year is the answer right now. And he bowled 300 last night doing it, so. The one thing this year that we've seen compared to other years in the past, if you tug the ball, it was definitely light. And this year, with a little bit of different pattern shape, the 2-2 is a little bit flatter. If you do miss left, you are seeing the guys creep a little bit higher than in years past.
Thanks, Doug.
I was going to go there. Doug, are you ready to sign off on this pattern yet?
That was a Matt Turek sigh.
Are you happy enough? Are you happy enough with what's happened that you can say yes? I'm Doug Duke's seal of approvaling this.
I think honestly, I think the pattern's good. It's tough. There is no doubt about it. You earn every stick you get here.
Well, this just in, I'm here with one of the disgruntled bowlers. Says the pattern sucks, Doug. It's all Doug's fault.
It is. The only guy that's happy with me
is... Put that bat down, sir.
Hey.
Bat down.
At the end of the day, number one's the only one that's happy.
See, Bill O'Neill, he's hopping around. He is absolutely flustered at that 410. This pattern will do it to you.
It's tough, especially playing in. I mean, you really have to thread the needle, and you really have to throw it well if you're going to play inside of 10.
Strike for Aaron Lawrence, or Lawrence, I should say. We'll get a look at Matt Gasson now.
Hey, guys, quickly, I'm going to give you an update down here on the leaders pair. A mental error by Kyle Troop. Opened in the 10th frame on a makeable spare. 225, Kyle Troop.
Real quick here, sneak it in, see if Bill O'Neill can spare this 410. He does not.
Also down here, Craig Nidifer, guys. He's got a double in the 8th and the 9th, but he's going to need all three in the 10th to get to 199. Comes in light 2-8. Nidifer is going to be in the 170s, guys. 177 is all Nidifer can get, and Maldonado is up on his fill ball. If he fills it up, 214. 214, Sean Maldonado. George Gohagen update. We know he was struggling. He did find a double in the 6th and the 7th. Opened in the 8th with a strike in the 9th. He can bowl 208. He's going to have to bail this game out. It is 214 for Maldonado confirmed. With a 120 pin lead, I think 214 is just fine. Rob Gottschall has a max score of 215 headed into the 10th frame. the rest of his comrades on his pair. The highest left is 228 over on 29 and 3. Craig Nidifer making a ball change down here on his fill ball. Remember, Nidifer can bowl 177. Shea Bittenbender, 210 in his 10th frame ball. He's going to bowl 180. 180 for Shea Bittenbender. Andrew Anderson, who opened up with 260, had 163 in the 8th with a strike up in the 9th, and now has 24810 in the 10th frame. And he picked it.
And made it.
He made it.
And made it.
So he's going to shoot 203 if he strikes out. That is a huge spare for Andrew Anderson. Bill O'Neill still has 222 left up in the 9th. He's coming in light. O'Neill does not like this pair. And JR just confirmed. Jason Sterner gets a first strike in the 10th frame. He can still bowl 235. Kenny Ryan, the story on 35 and 36. He can shoot 269. He'll be up in the 10th frame shortly. And that's pretty much my field report, gentlemen.
Nice job.
Scores are definitely looking lower across the board here.
I've seen a lot of splits.
Without a doubt, I think pair-to-pair is a little brutal right now.
Yeah, Matt McNeil, who opened up with 250, throwing the last 9 strikes, can only bowl 190 this game on 37 and 38. Joe Hostetler opened up with a huge game. He's still got only 184 left on 41 and 42. You're watching game number 2, the conclusion of game number 2 here at the 2015 Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined by Doug Dukes from Kegel up here in the booth, and Brandon Allred, along with Matt Turek, our producer. Guys, through 2 games, give me some analysis. We'll start with you, Brandon.
Well, right now, looking around, I think the breakdown from pair-to-pair is definitely difficult. There's a variety of different surfaces being used. I've seen a lot of surface on some bowling balls and really not a whole lot on others. This is the furthest left from the get-go I think I've seen these guys. And I think once they put some practice on them, the first game, obviously they set themselves up to kind of hit them good for one game, and then moving away from that, again, the pair-to-pair just seems to be slowing them down a little bit early on, trying to make the adjustments, get in the right part of the lane before trying to string a couple strikes together.
And I agree with that. And we tend to see, especially when you go into match play, you know, qualifying, you have all different styles, all different surfaces. Once you get into match play, most of the people that are in match play are going to be playing the same part of the lane. And they're going to break it down a little different, a little faster than they do in qualifying. Whoever learns that transition the fastest is going to do well.
What a comeback for A.J. Johnson. You're watching him on your screen, 267. He can bowl 267 with a spare here. Nice comeback. How many times you shoot 140 first game when you need to make a nice run and you just give up? And that kid does not give up. He is not a quitter.
Not at all.
Free Willie Messenger for Bill O'Neill there.
Matt McNeil was in the 170s. I don't know if I reported that or not. Defending champion. Rob Gottschall doubles in the 10th frame. He has 215 left. He's going to be in the 2 teens. Jason Couch can bowl 228. I got the standings right here in my hand. I should look at it myself. Jason Couch is at plus 222. If he strikes out in the 10th frame, he can get himself to 250. And with the lower scoring pace, Couch with 2 games to go, a couple of big games, our only PBA Hall of Famer in this field has an opportunity to make it into the top 12. That would be exciting, huh, guys?
Most definitely. It's definitely good to see Jason out there bowling, competing, bringing the average age of the top 32 up a little bit.
Don't forget, folks, if you're just joining us also, you're going to want to watch more of our coverage today. Coming up at noon Central Time, we have our top 12. Our top 12 at noon Central Time, as I found a bad spot in the bowling center, guys.
They do exist. This place is giant.
Hey, real quick, I've got a chance to catch up with Sean Maldonado, your tournament leader. Big first game, Sean. Opened up the lead even more, 120 pins. This last game, 214. Pretty solid game, but I know you're probably not happy with it.
Well, I mean, the way the scores are right now, I'm a little happy with it. To me, they're a little bit tighter than when I bowled on Friday. The transition is getting a little more tougher. It's hooking more in the middle. It's tighter on the outside. So I'm having to change up with what I did on Friday. But 2 more games left, and I like the position I'm in, so we'll just take it from there.
All right, Sean, good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm here with A.J. Johnson. A.J. opened up with a game that you probably want to forget about, but then come back. What was the difference between the 2 pairs and the angles of attack from going from 140 to 260?
I saw a little bit more friction through the mid lane, and I was able to use that to my advantage. I definitely made better shots. I mean, down the other side, I had a couple pocket 7-10s that didn't help, but definitely made some good shots, and hopefully I can get on a little bit of a run here and get a couple more games just like that one.
Yeah, 2 more games here. You could get another 120 or so and possibly make it around the top 12.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Getting a match play, anything can happen from there. The bonus pins and how it works, and maybe make a run to the step ladder and hope for the best.
All right, buddy. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Getting some notes out here in the boys.
Going back to how bowlers on Squad A see the transition and everything as of today, I think it's quite interesting that Sean Maldonado said that they're actually a little bit tighter for him today as opposed to hooking a little bit more. Again, he did start playing them a little bit further left than most folks in the field, so that may be where the differences lie.
Look at Kyle Troop here starting game 3 already. Oh, wiggle in that 4-pin.
Yep. Game number 3 underway here at the 2015 Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open. Mike Flanagan bringing you the coverage along with producer Matt Turek, Doug Dukes from Kegel, and Brandon Allred from Logo Infusion. Now, Brandon, we talked about it earlier, that promo code, Logo Infusion being the title sponsor of this event. Tell everybody at home a little bit about Logo Infusion and how they can save some money this weekend.
Well, we've opened up a special 15% off coupon code in honor of the 2015 InsideBowling.com Open. If anybody's looking to gear up for some of the summer tournaments with some sublimated apparel, this weekend's a good time to do it. IB Open 15, all capital letters, saves you 15% off on your entire purchase now through Monday. And a quick comment in the chat. I know Logo Infusion makes strike sleeves, but know quite a few people that have trouble with spares. Do they make spare sleeves? I think I just found a new product, guys.
Spare sleeves.
That is
Hey, everybody,
awesome.
Brandon made a funny. Reading out of the chat, Brandon made a funny. Anybody got a piece of chalk? Put that on the board.
On the board.
You can put it on the board.
Oh, I hate that. The Yankee announcer. Is it the Yankees? No, it's not the Yankees.
I thought NFL Blitz had that.
No, that's it's the White Sox. You can put it on the board. Yes, or whatever he says. Isn't it the White Sox?
If I watch more baseball, I'll be able to give you a good answer.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I got nothing for you.
Oh man.
We heard it from Maldonado. Lanes are tighter to the outside part, and they're drier to the inside part than what he remembers from Friday. And the scoring pace has come down considerably for game number 2. Game number 3 just underway here. How are we looking pace-wise? 10-17. 2 games in the books. They got started just about 9:15. Yeah, about 11:15 they'll be done. They're going to have 30 to 45 minutes to grab themselves something to eat. Doug's going to go out and run the beautiful white flex machine that was here for the NCAA championships. It's also going to be headed on its way to the Queens, and it's going to be used for many other great events throughout the country. I told Doug that they need to almost like put a little list of where the machine's been and what events it's been part of. Then you can like retire the lane machine and put it in the Hall of Fame.
Tell you what, some of these machines, they get some road miles on them, especially when we start going overseas. I know the week of Junior Gold, I do believe we'll have close to 30 machines out in the field at one time just for tournaments.
Crazy.
It is. That's it's close to $1 million worth of product out in the field, not counting chemical.
Unreal.
And it's not cheap to ship those machines either. And once again, you know, just a huge thank you to all the way from Chris Chartrand all the way down to, you know, the janitors at the training facility. You know, when I was there not too long ago, just everybody's so friendly and so great down there. We appreciate everything Kegel does. And by the way, if you happen to have a pet in your home that once in a while may make a mistake inside the home, Kegel's involved with another product called Infusion, and I highly suggest taking a look at that at your local Kroger, or you can give Kegel a call and get in touch with them on how to get Infusion at your house. It's a great household cleaner. I use it myself, and you should consider it too. Guys, update after 2 games was just handed to me. Sean Maldonado leads at plus 461. He's actually extended his lead with that 214 game. J.R. Raymond now moves into second at plus 343. So we have 118 pins. 118. So no, he did not. He decreased his lead by 2. I apologize. 118 pins behind is J.R. Raymond in second. Kyle Troop is third at plus 337. Fourth, Andrew Anderson at 327. Fifth, Ronnie Russell at plus 305. Ronnie Russell sits fifth now. Jason Sterner in sixth at plus 300. Bill O'Neill is seventh at plus 293. Matt McNeil at plus 287 in the top 8. And ninth, Craig Nidifer at plus 273. 10th, Matt Gasson at plus 271. 11th, Anthony Simonson at plus 265. And Kenny Ryan rounds out your top 12 at plus 259 on the outside looking in. 6 pins behind is Shea Bittenbender. 7 pins behind is Joe Hostetler and Devin Bidwell. And then at plus 239, Rob Gottschall sits in 16. If you want to check on your favorite bowler, you can check it out at InsideBowling.tv down underneath the screen on your event information tabs, and you can check on your favorite bowler.
Two games left, coming down to crunch time, and there is still some time for some of these folks that are sitting right around about 20th and up.
There's one guy I'm looking at in particular, and it's for multiple reasons, and it's Jason Couch, who sits 18th. He's a plus 230. And thinking from a broadcast and a tournament event perspective, you know, our goal was to have Jason Couch as our color commentator tonight at 7 o'clock. And something tells me that he's going to find a way to make it into the top 12, and he's going to find a way to make it to this telecast just to throw a wrench in our production schedule. So that's what I'm looking at. Down on lanes 31 and 32. Now we're taking you over to 39 and 40, where Kenny Ryan, who has moved into the 12th position, is front and center on your screen, working on a strike, looking for a double. Hey, Matt, nice job on the pictures in pictures.
Thanks, Mike. I threw that together in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, you did.
Worked out.
For those of you who don't know, when you produce a broadcast like this, we had been using 2 separate cameras to build our shots, one for the scoreboard, one for the bowling, and now we're using one camera and having to do some major moving around and shifting around with using picture-in-pictures through our new software. So behind the scenes, Matt Turek's been working overtime.
Doing a mighty fine job there, Matt.
Thanks. I'm really starting to enjoy this program.
It's going to be hard to go back to VidBlaster.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, I can just click around here and see what's going on, and as we still stay and get a look at George Gohagen, you know, I mean, it's great. See who's up next, where I'm going.
I don't know where I'm going.
Well, I do. We're going to take it over to Sean Molinado. We're going to leave it where it's at, I guess.
But I've made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Here I go again. Rock of Ages, right? Soundtrack, guys. I told you I'd sing before the end of the weekend, Matt. You were asking for it.
Yeah, you do it every tournament. So.
In the morning, it's even worse, so you're welcome.
Thanks. Gee, thanks. Man, I've been staring at this menu for breakfast. I just can't pick anything.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a breakfast menu.
Well, there's not, but it's breakfast.
Yesterday, I had peanuts and pretzels.
Oh. I think I'm going to have to go with a cheeseburger or something.
No, I'm not happy to say this, but I'm up to 193 pounds, guys. All right, so I've been finding a way to lose some weight. All right, so I want to tell you this right now.
Talk about weight.
I want to tell you this right now. When I get home, I'm going to be down to about 179 with the eating routine I've had on this trip. I'm going to be sicker than a dog, and I'm going to have the shakes, probably have an IV in me, but I'm going to lose some weight. You know, who needs these healthcare products? You know, who needs to eat some creatine and put it in a shake and drink it with some berries and fruits? No. Just run this tournament. You're good. I've got a workout program for you. Come be a slave for me all weekend long at a tournament. You will lose 12 pounds or 8% of your body fat, or we'll never invite you back.
Nice.
That's our money back guarantee. Back to bowling.
Back to bowling, I believe we have J.R. Raymond and Bill O'Neill both starting off with the front 4 on lanes 41 and 42.
Matt McNeil, double, 9-spare, 9-spare strike. Bill O'Neill, open, 9-spare double. As you mentioned, Brandon, J.R. Raymond. You'll be able to see him off to the right side of your screen right now. He's on the pair just to the right of Andrew Anderson. He's up on lane 41 on the approach, looking for the first 5. And there he is.
Oof,
and there you have it.
Brutal.
Lower 710. There you have it.
Seen quite a few of them this weekend.
Yeah, I think if you talk to him, he'd say it was firm. Certainly didn't deserve a 710, but it was firm. Game number 3 of this 4-game block. A round of 32. We're going to cut to 12. Some people say that this tournament has too brutal of a cut, Mike, to go from 308 entries and you cut to 32. That is brutal. Doug Dukes, what do you think about that?
You know, that's the way the tournament's always been run, and if you're going to be in the top, I mean, that's what you're looking for anyway. So I don't see where 32 is a problem. They're tough, they're fair, and the cream of the crop's going to rise. So might as well cut at 32. It's only a weekend tournament, and make things happen.
Yeah, and with going to 32, you know, there's a lot that everybody has a chance to make it into the top 12.
That is correct.
A lot of times, you know, they'll take half the field or something, and then they cast just a few or something like that. And, you know, those people don't even want to be throwing the ball. They'd rather be on the road getting home to see their family.
Correct. And it's not like you're only paying the top 32. I mean, your payout ratio is 1 in 5, so you paid, what, top 62?
62, yeah. And the other thing, too, that I believe this does is it makes someone feel good about making a cut.
Absolutely.
I made the cut that year. People will say those things because it's an elite group.
Yes, low to cash was $500 at this event. So with a $225 first entry and a $195 re-entry, you're still making a little bit of money.
Exactly.
Low to cash. I mean, I think that's outstanding. If you like to re-enter, you're not losing anything. Gaining a little bit more experience, and if you make the top 32, you get a correct 10 grand.
I think the angles are definitely getting a little tougher now.
I was just going to say, I was taking a look around scores, and there's a couple of strings, but again, there's really not a whole lot of high scores floating around right now.
Seen a lot of 9 spare though, a lot of 10 pins, a lot of corner pins in general, but the angles are definitely starting to get tougher.
Absolutely.
There's another one.
Just off camera, Ronnie Russell leaving a 10 pin. Right now, 39.40, Shea Bittenbender. There's those angles you're talking about. That's just a little bit of hang. A little bit of hang or a little bit too much overreaction off the spot. See a couple 4-9s out there, 10 pins, 2-pin combinations.
You know, I think the quote of the tournament was Michael Fagan saying that he has to find a spot that his misses are 9s, whereas these guys, I mean, it's so easy with this pattern to leave it, like you were saying, 2-8-10
Oh, absolutely.
to a 4-9. So as we see Bill O'Neill,
2-4-8-10.
2-4-8-10.
It's very easy to miss and pay the ultimate penalty here, and finding a way to make your misses get 9, that's going to put you in play.
Yep.
Once again, I mean, transition today is going to be different than the qualifying squads. I mean, pretty much everybody started a little bit farther left than they had for qualifying, and I think we're starting to really see that now.
Absolutely.
Now, how do you guys feel that since we're bowling 4 games and then doing a re-oil right after that, with such a short time between re-oils, do you feel like that's going to make a, I mean, obviously once you lay the pattern over and over and over again, that's going to start making it play, I guess, truer to the pattern, but with such a short time between re-oils, how do we feel that that's going to affect the overall outcome and transitions on the day?
It can be a little bit different. I mean, we're going to try to let them sit for just a little bit, and I'll be out immediately. Normally, if we can get a good 15-minute window from the time we oil the last lane, they'll play pretty true. Something for everybody oiling for their legs and stuff out there now. You know, you always want to have a little window, 15, 20 minutes of sit time to make them play true. If they're throwing the first ball while you're rolling the machine in the back, it's not going to quite be the same.
And now, just the same with less than 15 minutes, is there a period where over a certain amount of time, I mean, obviously we know oil is always moving, but at a point, is there too long to let them sit?
Oh, it's kind of funny that you asked that. We just did an article a couple months ago on that. Actually, oil doesn't evaporate, so what's actually coming out, there's some alcohol-based products and things like that that can evaporate in that first 10 or 15 minutes. And after that's done, barring nothing else, if you were in a vacuum, so to speak, what you laid out today, if nobody touched it and you came in 10 years later, it would play exactly the same. Unfortunately, we're not in a vacuum, so what actually affects it the most is what's inside your building. So your heating, your cooling, the dust that's in the air. Once that settles on the lane surface, that creates friction. So that's where you actually get the differences as it sits longer. You know, if you oil at night and come in the next morning, they're probably going to play a little drier because of that friction.
Hey guys, Andrew Anderson opened up with 260, bowled an okay second game, and now 72 in the fifth with a strike up in the sixth. You just saw it here on 39 and 40. Andrew Anderson not bowling so well. Kenny Ryan still continuing to bowl well, 97 in the fourth with a strike working in the fifth. Up in the sixth, Shea Bittenbender staring at a 2.48, 97 in the fifth. He's going at a 2.0 pace. Jason Sterner on that pair opens up with an open spare triple. Jason Sterner still in contention to win this tournament. Anthony Simonson, another player in the top 12 and 11th currently right now. Spare strike, open strike. He's up on lane 43. I'll give you the play-by-play here, looking for a double. He gets the double. That's a big double for him. Big double for him. Gasson goes triple 9 spare, strike 8 spare. Still bowl 248, 3 frames to go. Mitch Beasley really struggling. Staring at 80 in the fifth with a strike in the sixth. Also on that pair. The pair up on your screen right now has A.J. Rice, who is currently in last position. Craig Lamond also on that pair. Lamond, I should say. I like Lamode, the old shirts. Remember Lamode shirts, guys?
Everybody wore them back in the day. Tough break for A.J. Rice down there, 7-10. Yeah, Lamode, boy.
Logo Infusion could probably buy Lamode for like 50 cents, and you could bring it back.
I was just say bring them back. Oh,
yeah,
man.
why not? First there was Lamode. Now there's Logo Infusion. Dave Ferraro, Dave Houston, Wayne Webb, Danny Wiseman, Lamode.
That's great.
I think we got something, guys. La Fusion.
La Fusion.
There you go.
La Fusion. The Mexican version or Spanish version of Logo Infusion. La Fusion.
La Fusion. I'm going to have a lot of new products to bring to the table.
There we go.
Yeah, your next marketing meeting, you're set.
Spare sleeves.
Spare sleeves are the best.
Oh, spare sleeves.
That's your #1 next year.
If you only knew the marketing director of your company.
Who is that guy?
I don't know. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Getting close to the end of game number 3 here in the top 32, round of 32. Logo Infusion, InsideBowling.com open. Mike Flanagan, Doug Dukes, Ricky Matsko in the booth now subbing in for Matt Turek, who's on assignment, and Brandon Allred from Logo Infusion. Doug, how long is it going to take to oil these lanes after the squad?
It should take me close to 35 minutes.
Okay. And then 15 minutes to sit?
Roughly. Everything's ready to go, and I'll go down when they get in the tent, run a couple volume checks, and she's all filled up and ready to rock.
Now you're going to apply the house condition for the next round.
Surprise.
There we go.
Just on one pair, though.
Yeah, what a difference.
Just
Wow.
on one pair.
Bowlers, we're going to draw for lane pattern. We've got easy street, high street, and dead man's curve available today.
I will send Gus a text and tell him where the van is, and I'll get my wife to pick me up at the airport after that happens.
I thought it was program 1.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know we put in 3. That was the strip-only pattern.
Oh, man. I did have that happen one time bowling a tournament where there was one lane that was completely stripped in the middle of the house, and everything else was just fine. Oof. So the first few shots of practice, literally sparks coming from that lane as the ball proceeded to the left gutter very quickly.
Well, and you know, that's I actually had one of those phone calls Friday, I do believe, doing some tech support on the road, and one of those things happened at a tournament, and that's why it's so important, and you'll see me when I run lanes, we always walk with the machine, whether it's every lane, every pair. We always check the backs, and we're always looking at the machine, not only for the data that the machine gives us with run times, valve times, and things like that, but just the overall. Is the vacuum motor running? So I know it's, you know, picking up cleaner. Is the buffer motor running? Something like that. Sounds like it could have been real easy fix to pick up a bad buffer motor relay or something like that. And
something that could have been prevented if
no question,
if the proper maintenance was taken into consideration.
Proper maintenance? What's that? I've got dust all over my buffer brush.
I'm not going to open up that can of worms.
And my squeegees aren't straight.
Just got to create some friction down lanes, guys.
Rob Gottschall trying to make a move here. 9 spare, 7 spare, and he converted a split. 6 in a row after that. And then he leaves the 6-8. I'm sorry, the 3-6. I'm down here on the low end, lanes 29 through 34, scoping things out. You've been watching 31 and 2 as one of our featured pairs. I have no high scores to report through 32. Gottschall's on 33 and 34 with Kyle Anderson, Dan Higgins, and Jason Couch. Jason Couch, through 8 frames, still has 236 left. Kyle Anderson can still bowl 258 on 33 and 34. Kyle Anderson sits in 30th position right now, plus 182. He's 70 out of the top 12. 70 out of the top 12, Kyle Anderson. Jason Couch is 29 out of the top 12. So 236 here for him would definitely help him and give him a chance. He's going to need probably the last 4 on 33 and 34. Matt Turek returns to the booth. Welcome back, Matt.
Thanks, Mike. Got myself a bagel real quick.
Nice. Sean Maldonado front and center here in the 10th frame. Second shot in the 10th. He's going to be in the 220s, guys. It's going to give him 224 if he fills it up. That's another good game for Sean Maldonado. Kenny Ryan working on the ham bone, looking for 5 in a row right in front of you. Kenny Ryan's made a nice run this morning. He's got himself in 12th position. He's got 5 in a row now working. Kenny Ryan is going to be a factor in this tournament, guys. I'm about to get myself up to speed on Kenny Ryan. I don't know a lot about him, but I have a feeling this afternoon we're going to find out.
I would have to agree with you. Shea Bentonbetter with a very nice conversion on that 210 late falling.
Yeah, I clicked away too quick. Didn't think it was going to fall.
Just watching Matt Gasson, unfortunately missing a 7-pin in the 10th for 205, I believe. Yikes.
That's another strike for Sterner. Guys, Sterner through 9 frames. He goes open, spare, 7 in a row. That's the ham turkey dinner. You know what the ham turkey dinner is, don't you, Doug?
I do not.
It's the ham bone and the turkey put together. 4 and 3, 7.
I
ham
got you.
turkey
I'm
dinner.
a little slow this morning.
No, it's all good. Doug Dukes from Kegel joining us. Brandon Allred from Logo Infusion, our title sponsor here at the Logo Infusion, InsideBowling.com. Open presented by Kegel. And don't forget, folks, all this covers this weekend. You see it on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Ebonite. Consider Ebonite for your next bowling ball purchase. We appreciate their support of this event. J.R. Raymond, 215 in the books for him. Matt McNeil, after opening up with 250 and going 170, he's going to be in the 190s this game. Anthony Simonson has bailed out a game here. He's got 4 in a row going into the 10th frame over on 43 and 44. Comes in light for a 2-pin. It's not going to hurt him too much. He's going to be in 2 teens. Anthony Simonson, who currently sits 11th. He'll be watching the scoreboard the last game, that's for sure.
I think things are going to be pretty close.
Yeah, Ronnie Russell still has 233 left. Bill O'Neill, 232 left. Russell's made a nice move all the way up to 5th. And guys, we talked about Jason Couch. Jason Woolham here on hand helping us out, keeping an eye on the action as well. Jason Couch, he is doubled in the 10th frame. Cancel that. He threw the first one in the frame. Still got 236 left. 29 and 30, I'm going to read the scores. I'm not going to say who the bowlers were because they've all bugged out of here, but I just want to tell you the scoring pace on 29 and 30. 151, 198, 187, and 196.
It doesn't sound like a fun pair down there.
And just next door over here at 31 and 32, scoring pace 170, 172, 174, and we're going to have a 210. 33 and 34, 201, 242, 236, 241. Jason Couch did strike out for 236. I'm actually here with Couch. I'm going to talk to Couch real quick. Hey, nice finish, buddy.
Well, I made a ball change after the 3 ring and 7s in a row, so it didn't make sense to me. My ball was reading in the right spot, but apparently my eyes didn't see it right, so I went to something a little smoother, a little cleaner, and it's much better.
What do you think about moving over to this pair here? Got any scouting report on it?
No scouting report, but I'm going to throw the front 9 and hopefully sneak in there and see what happens.
We've been predicting you're going to make it, man. Good luck to you. He's put himself in contention, guys. 236 improves his score to plus 266, which going into that game would have been good for 11th position.
It's going to be close.
That's why Simonson's 2-team that last game was so important, so critical. Keeps him ahead of Couch by about 20.
Well, I told him before this round started, giddy up if he wants it. Looks like he listened.
Oh, you're the driving force behind that, huh?
No, I stay neutral. I'm the lane man.
That's right. That's right. I like it. They teach you well down there at Kegel. Where do you learn that? Is that chapter 3? Hey, by the way, I can't tell you enough about this Kenny Ryan guy. He is just bowling great. I mean, he's looking at 266 here this game. He moved himself in the top 12 coming into this game. Kenny Ryan is at plus 259. He's going to improve his score by 66 pins. And, you know, as long as he doesn't bowl 150, I think we're going to see Kenny Ryan in there. Could you guys look on the tabs for me and do a little research and tell me where Kenny Ryan started today, what position he was in coming into the top 32? I think he might have made the biggest move.
24th? He was 24th at plus 211. Does that look right, guys?
Just a second here.
Oh, no, I'm looking at top. I'm sorry. I was looking after game 1. He was 6th.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, he was 6th.
At 257.
Yeah. That was my bad. See, that's why we look things up. Who's made the biggest move? Let's take a look at this. Who's made a nice move? We know Gohagen has made the move in the wrong direction.
Correct. What did A.J. Johnson have game 3? After 140, 260. Where is A.J. sitting?
He was throwing the ball good.
We will find out in just a moment. Bill O'Neill's moved from 12th to 7th.
A.J. Johnson started 30th at 188.
I think the biggest mover might be Mr. Jason Couch.
Couch, yeah, I was getting ready to say that.
Well, we're going to look at him right here, starting game 4.
Oh, we got him front and center. This is a huge shot for Couch. He's made this ball change. He said he was going to open with the front 9, and look, right out of the gate, that's what can happen on this pattern.
Don't tell him I watched.
3, 6, 7, 9.
I'll tell you, it's great to watch the transition from pair to pair. And
watch
the differences.
Watch the head scratching and the facial expressions when the ball doesn't hook or it hooks as soon as it hit the lane.
And you'll see it. You'll see spare, 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 4-bagger. And it's that figuring out that transition.
I want to welcome everybody into the chat. Thank you for being with us this morning, wherever you may be. Game number 4, 4 of 4 in today's round of 32. Mike Flanagan here with Doug Dukes from Kegel, Brandon Allred, and Matt Turek on the call. Doug, you doing okay, or do you need to bug out and start getting ready?
Actually, that's what I was getting ready to say. It's time for me to do my thing, so I'm going to exit stage right, and I appreciate you guys having me on, and hopefully we can be on one more time before tonight's final.
For sure, we'll get you on. Appreciate you, Doug. Let's turn down mic 2. We'll let Doug get out of here. Appreciate all of his insight, him spending some time here in the booth, plethora of knowledge. Spent a lot of time at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore as a coach and working full-time for Kegel. Made the trip down from Delaware to join us this week. Can't say enough good things about Doug Dukes. I've got standing update after game number 3, thanks to Ashley. Sean Maldonado continues to lead at plus 485. Second now is Kyle Troop at plus 373. A little bit behind Kyle at plus 358 is J.R. Raymond. 20 behind him, Ronnie Russell. Fifth position, Jason Sterner at plus 333. Sixth, Kenny Ryan. We've been talking about him, plus 325. Tied with Andrew Anderson. Eighth place, Bill O'Neill. Ninth place, Matt McNeil. And quite a drop-off between Bill and Matt. Matt sits at plus 283, Bill O'Neill at plus 310. 27-pin difference, which is a larger gap than we've seen as we go through the list. Just 1 pin behind Matt McNeil is Anthony Simonson at plus 282. Rob Gottschall's made an unbelievable move up to 11th place at plus 280. Matt Gasson is your number right now in 6th, just by 1 pin. I'm sorry, in 12th at 276, 1 pin ahead of Craig Nidifer at plus 275. So Nidifer on the ropes here going into the last game. And look who's in 14th, Jason Couch at plus 266.
Chip in a chair. He's got a chance.
And what's so interesting about this is Gottschall and Couch are paired together, and we have them on a feature pair, 37 and 38.
Jason will definitely need to figure out this transition pretty quick after leaving the 3-6-7-9 his first shot. A little bit of a head scratcher moment.
Ryan Burkhart working hard behind the scenes. Almost got a cameo there as he was working on something on this pair. Jason Couch is up now. 10 back for Couch. Lane 38, we've got Rob Gottschall up front and center for you right now. Rob opened up strike, spare, up in the third frame working. And Lawrence is trying to see where Rob's playing. Gottschall's been kind of a quiet lurker. He's just been lurking in the wings. Where was Gottschall coming into this, Brandon?
He was in the high 20s, I think.
26.
Yeah, 26th place coming in.
Oh, he and Couch came in on the same number. That's right.
They were tied, yeah.
Hey, Brandon, I got to say thank you for the shirts, our Inside Bowling shirts for this weekend. Our staff has been able to look styling and profiling the entire time. I've had more women hit on me at this tournament because of this shirt than ever in the history of my life. And I'm telling you, I had a really big number before, buddy. So
that's great.
If you want to look good and you want to attract significant others, whatever that may be for you, you should head over to logoinfusion.com right now. And there's a coupon code I'm going to let Brandon tell you about. You can save 15%.
That is IB Open 15, all capital letters. Now through Monday, 15% off your entire purchase.
Yeah, and you know what's great? I can't remember the coupon code because it's so hard to remember.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, it is a tough one. It's a 15. You get me with the numbers, upper, lowercase letters and stuff like that. That's why all my passwords are ABC or 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
Yeah, or password, right?
And my pen number is really hard to figure out. I kind of threw everybody for a curveball, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah,
Nailed
I think
it.
that might be the first number I try when I steal your debit card.
Oh, that's fine.
Or that's what the plan would have been.
That's fine. They don't disperse pennies.
Okay.
You can find one with a 10 once in a while.
Yeah, you
but
get
still,
lucky with a 10.
No bueno for you with the $10.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't put more into each bank account than
Each bank
$6.43.
account. So what do you got about 4 accounts then?
No, I'm up to 6, man. I'm pulling some major bank right now.
That's almost as much as my glasses GoFundMe account.
My shoes and my glasses.
Man.
So I have them.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
ouch with a
Brutal.
lower 8.
Man.
Brutal.
Oh, what a great adjustment, though, coming off a 2, 4, 8, 10. But the opposite of that because he's left-handed. I can't rattle it off that fast on the left side. Sorry.
3, 6, 7, 9.
Thank you, Brandon. Are you left-handed?
No, but there's days I wish I was. But there's also days I wish I wasn't.
You know, another story going back to qualifying, we interviewed Sean Maldonado on the broadcast Saturday afternoon after he was in the clubhouse with the lead, and he didn't know how it was going to hold up. He told us that left-handers aggravate him. He says that he lets left-handers get in his head more than any other bowler. Something very interesting to watch as we go into match play today.
That is a cool little fun fact there.
I thought you'd like that. Kenny Ryan over on 43 and 44 has said, I'm dropping the hammer, Harry. He's got 4 in a row. Sean Maldonado is just cool as the other side of the pillow as he picks the 210 over here on 41.
Rob Gottschall, high flush.
So Gottschall strike, spare, strike. He sits currently in 11th position. 5 pins ahead of Craig Nidifer, who's in 13th. Matt Gasson is in 12th at plus 276. I'm going to go roam and see what I can find. Give some updates. Some of these players. Gentlemen, I'm going to start out down on 29 and 30 and give you an update. Bill O'Neill, spare strike, spare to start the match. Matt McNeil, spare open double. J.R. Raymond, spare triple. J.R. currently is in 3rd position. And Ronnie Russell has spare, strike, spare. I'm sorry, spare, open, spare for Russell. Take you over lanes 31 and 32. Tim Barrett, spare, strike, spare, split, open. Matt Gasson, open, double. Mitch Beasley, strike, spare. I'm sorry, Gasson is 9 spare, open strike. It's Anthony Simonson spare double. So Gasson's going to have to dig in here. He is the number right now in 12th. Did Couch leave a blower 9?
I missed it.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one there, Mike.
No. No, Ricky says it came in light.
Okay. Gottschall's up on 38.
Aaron Lorenz is still looking where he's at.
Ronnie Russell almost just left the bucket plus the 10 pin, and the entire bucket fell out on lane 30.
Wow. Outstanding. That's a good one.
I mean, it wasn't super close. I mean, they did fall fairly quickly. It wasn't like it was really going to happen, but it it was there for a second. We just had a light fixture go out on 29 and 30 up over the lanes. Tell you what, this Bill O'Neill is tough. This guy, he just keeps pounding the 1-3. Doesn't knock them all down every time, but he keeps pounding the 1-3. Really big shot. You can take it over to lane 31, Matt.
I'm here.
Matt Gasson is working on a strike. This would be a critical double for him as he sits in 12th position. I think he knows it. Big shot for Matt Gasson. Big double right there. Big double for Matt Gasson.
Look at Jason Couch now up on 38.
Also
10 back.
Couch is in a position now where he's going to have to put together a 4 or 5 bagger.
He's going to need a couple in a row here. He could probably afford maybe one spare in the middle of a string, but I'm thinking he needs to get on his high horse right now.
Yeah, what we need to do is we need to keep an eye on Craig Nidifer. What's Nidifer doing?
Nidifer is currently on the front 4, 9 spare in the 5th.
All right, so Nidifer in 13th looking to jump Gasson and Gottschall and Simonson along with Matt McNeil, because Matt McNeil's the real cut here at plus 283 in 9th. Bill O'Neill is cruising along. Andrew Anderson, what is he doing?
Andrew's on the end pair here, 43 and 44. I'm not sure.
I think he's got the front 6. I think he's with.
Is he?
No, that's Kenny Ryan.
No.
No, is it?
Yeah, it is
yeah,
Kenny
it is.
Ryan.
He just came off. Yeah.
I believe Andrew has
94 in the 5th, spare up in the 6th. I've been told. Willem, I hope you're sticking around all day because you're a bunch of help.
He's not getting a cut out of my check, is he? Wait.
Oh, that's a good idea, Matt. Thank you.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. Thank you. Very good idea. I wasn't thinking about it, but thanks for mentioning that.
Black Cloud himself.
Good
Yeah,
idea. Wow, Matt, you come up with them.
Where's
we're
Willem?
going to invite him to the next marketing meeting.
He's gonna owe me lunch here at work Tuesday. I said so I get $1.
Andrew Anderson's ball looked like it hooked as soon as it hit the lane on 44.
Right-handed bowler and leaves the 3-9.
I'm going to look at Matt Gasson here. It's a big shot for him again.
Sure is. He's taking some time. He's waving people on. He's waiting for Devin Bidwell to deliver his ball over on lane 34, and then Gasson's going to go. He updated most of our social media for us yesterday.
He did a good job. I was checking it out last night.
Sure did.
There was all kinds of posts.
A lot of great content.
Another strike for Gasson. So Matt Gasson is putting the pedal to the metal. Doing exactly what he needs to do to stay in the top 12. Let's take it over to Rob Gottschall. Gottschall with the spare there now has 96 in the 5th with a spare working in the 6th. So he and Gasson are 2 people to watch, because one's probably going to make it and one is probably not going to make it, especially with Nidifer on such a run right now. Nidifer slowed down a little bit. First 4, 9 spare, 8 spare. Tournament leader Sean Maldonado sits at 95 in the 5th with a strike working in the 6th. He's doing just fine. A.J. Johnson on lane 39 just went light for a 4-pin. He's been making a bit of a run. A.J. sits 15th at plus 251. Needed a big double there. A.J. Johnson can still bowl 239 if he were to back half the game with the last 6. Jason Sterner, 8 spare, 7 spare. Hambone looking for 5 in a row. He's over on lane 43. Comes in light for a 210, but Sterner, he's in safe. Things coming along here. Game number 4, round of 32. Mike Flanagan and Brandon Allred from Logo Infusion on the call with you, along with Matt Turek. Trying to bring you as much action as possible. Rob Gottschall, your 2015 USBC All Events leader right now. Just came from
Ooh, yikes.
El Paso and right through the nose for a 4.67. Gottschall with count will be in the 120s in the 7th frame.
Safe to say he's in a must-strike situation after that, I do believe, with Matt on a string and Nidifer having the front 4, spares in the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Kenny Ryan's looking to try to make a move into 2nd place. He's got the first 7.
Ooh, Gotcha almost got a really nice bounce there.
What did Gasson do?
10 back.
So just an incredible 4-bagger for Matt Gasson. Anthony Simonson and Matt McNeil are 2 other scores we need to watch. Do you have Simonson down there?
I believe Simonson is 31 and 32.
There he is. I just saw him pop up from underneath the table. Simonson has 237, 235 left. He's up in the 7th.
Jason Couch just went 3.67.
I think things are now looking a little bit grim for Mr. Couch.
I second that. Jared Erickson. Where is Jared at?
I believe he is directly in front of the live stream booth here on lanes 39 and 40.
What does he have going? He sits at plus 248.
There is one bowler with an open 5-bagger string, and I believe that is him. Mr. Erickson has 18 in the 2nd on a 5-bagger, stepping up in the 8th.
Woo!
On lane 39, things are about to get interesting.
Yeah, let me tell you something else too. Devin Bidwell, who's in 17th at plus 248. Double 9 spare, 5 in a row, and now just left at 3.610.
Guys, I think Kyle Anderson is on 250 max score. 79 max score, I've been told. He was at plus 50 making a jump if he can get it.
And Bidwell can shoot 255. And guys, 33 and 34, Joe Hostetler sits at plus 239 right now. 2nd ball in the 10th frame, he can bowl 266. I can't tell you who's going to make it right now. There are way too many numbers going right now.
We got some things shaking up here, guys.
Major shakeups.
That's some exciting stuff coming down to the wire.
Hey, Brandon, you got a pen up there?
No, I got a pencil.
Pencil works.
We need somebody to start doing some math on this. Woolham's going to do it. Woolham and Brandon, can you guys double team this? when I give you guys the numbers, you guys start putting together what they finished at, and we can start figuring this thing out.
Fire away. Let's see. You said, Mike, Joe Hostetler has 260 left out there?
Yep. I'm going to get you the exact score. So, Brandon, when I give you these scores, make sure you call out what they finished at.
Yes, sir.
Gasson up on 31. Another strike for Gasson. Billy Gasson, if you're watching, your son's bowling phenomenally well. When he needs it.
Kenny Ryan here on the high end of the center has the front 9.
All right, Joe Hostetler has it in the books, 266. Nice game, Joe.
Puts him at plus 305 overall.
305. 305 for Hostetler. That's a number that is on the board.
We have Jared Erickson sitting in 16th place at plus 248. Open six-bagger going into the 9th frame.
It looks pretty good. Well,
best angle we can get.
It listed completely off the pins now.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Jared Erickson with another strike. 7 in a row. 258 still left on the board.
Is that okay, Matt?
Nope.
Which way I gotta go?
He's going to be on the left lane. It needs to go left.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
Okay.
It's listing. It's stopped. It's stabilized. That's good.
We all right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Game number 4, round of 32. Kenny Ryan working on the front 9. Lanes 43 and 44 here at the Logo Infusion InsideBowling.com Open. Kenny Ryan is safe within the number. He's trying to make a run at second.
We have Andrew Anderson that just finished up. Plus 326 is his final score.
All eyes are on Kenny Ryan at the moment.
Oh.
279 max score still possible for Mr. Ryan.
Switch it over to Jason Couch really quick.
He has 204 left. Not going to be enough.
No, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough to get Mr. Couch into the top 12.
No, he's officially out of the top 12.
We have Craig Nidifer coming up in the 10th frame here with a max score of 256.
I've got some scores down here, guys. Matt McNeil, 184. 184 for Matt McNeil. I believe his tournament is over.
Yeah, it's 267 over.
J.R. Raymond, 233. Should improve him to 391, guys. Is that what you have?
Yes. That's correct.
Ronnie Russell bowls 200 even, finishes at plus 338. And Bill O'Neill 234 plus 344.
Jason Sterner clocks in at 347 over. Craig Nidifer gets the first hit in the 10th frame, putting him into the 240s.
Devin Bidwell 242. Right? 242 for Bidwell. What's that get him
242,
to?
that puts him at 290 over.
290 over, okay. How's that shaking out in the mix?
That's going to be very close. 290, very, very close.
All right, Gasson's finished with 243. That puts him at 300 over.
319. Matt Gasson clocked in at 319 over.
319 over. Hey, Matt Gasson, man. Nice bowling, buddy. You needed those strikes in the middle of the game, and you got them. What were you doing there?
I came over to the pair from down there. I had moved a little bit left down there. My carry wasn't so good. And so when I came down here, it still wasn't very good. So I just came to the conclusion that my ball was going a little too long, and I moved back right and trying to put the strikes together. So.
Well, I know your dad's watching, and you put together a great game. There were a lot of people charging, but I think you're good.
I hope so. I thought I wanted to get that second one in the 10th to be safe, but I think that's going to be enough.
All right, man. Good luck in the top 12.
In the chat, they want to know what ball he's throwing.
Oh, they want to know what ball you were throwing in the chat.
Oh, just now I was throwing a Game Breaker 2.
Game Breaker 2 seems to be the ball of choice recently at some big events, guys.
56 for Craig Nidifer. That's going to put him 331.
Are there any scores you need from me down here?
They're working on it.
Simonson, 204. 204 for Simonson, just completed. Who had 57 down here?
There was a 256 by Craig Nidifer on 41 and 42.
Jared Erickson, 257. Moves him to 305.
Sounds like he's tied for 12th.
Tied for 12th?
For 11th, 12th and 11th.
Looks like he's going to be tied for...
That would be tied with Joe Hostetler at 305 over.
And that would be the number then?
That would likely be the number. Tentatively, a tie at 11th.
What was the number after 3 games?
After 3 games, we were at 276, and that was Matt Gasson.
So it went up 29 pins in one game.
Wow.
Unofficially, that's just how we see it shaking out right now. Are there anybody else that can make jumps that I need to look for?
At this point in time, I don't think so, Mike. Shea Bittenbender's all finished up. I believe he had 200, 2 Not enough to get him in the mix, I don't think.
Dirty D says it's like the Hunger Games out there.
Do we know what Gottschall finished up with there?
No, I don't know which one he was. If it narrows it down, I think he was on the top A or C.
I don't think he had 160, so that would put Gottschall tentatively at 212.
No, I think Gottschall did have the 168.
He did have the 160.
Yeah, I'm going to confirm that. All right, what do we have here, Dan, on your pair? 260, or Kyle Anderson, 245, finished at plus 269. Jason Couch, 246, he bowled 180. 168 was Gotchel. And 212 for Dan Higgins. But we had 245 down here bowled by Kyle Anderson. Did you guys get that one?
Yeah, we have Kyle Anderson, 269 over.
Okay, got it. Okay. Just making sure I got everything. Tournament office.
Yeah, tentatively we are still at 305 as the number for the top 12.
Okay, so I'm going to come up there. All the action is completed. In about 45 minutes, we're going to come back with the top 12. We'll see if we can come up with that number right now for you. The action is fast and furious for sure. We're going to take you to our Doug Duke's camera. See Doug Duke's out there getting ready to oil the lanes.
Top 5 do advance to the finals tonight at 7 p.m. Central. You definitely want to tune in for that.
Absolutely. The live final setup here is looking pretty sharp. Going to be fun to watch.
Do we have an estimated time for the start of match play, Mike? Half hour maybe? 45?
No, it's probably about 45 minutes.
45?
Yeah, Doug's got oil the lanes. Said it'd take about 35 minutes. It'd be about 15 minutes to sit, and then they'll be able to turn them on.
So we're looking at about 12:15 once they actually get going. So we're pretty close to being on time.
All right, unofficially, I think we've got the standings here. Looks like right here, Sean Maldonado is going to be your leader. Kenny Ryan's going to move into second position. J.R. Raymond will be third. Kyle Troop fourth. Jason Sterner fifth. Bill O'Neill sixth. Ronnie Russell seventh. Craig Nidifer eighth. Andrew Anderson will be ninth. Matt Gasson will be 10th. And we're going to have a tie for 11th, which will be 11th and 12th, between Jared Erickson and Joe Hostetler. Unofficially, that's what it looks like. Who's going to be on the outside looking into that, guys?
I think you're looking at Devin Bidwell as the next out at plus 290.
Okay, so unofficially, that's what we're looking at. If anything is different than that, we will come back on and let you know. We will have official standings updated down below in your event information tabs. But for now, we're going to leave you to music. And we will be back in about 45 minutes with the beginning of round-robin match play here from St. Louis at Tropicana Lanes at the Logo Infusion, InsideBowling.com, open.